We had Neil Borofsky, who is the Special Inspector General for the Troubled Asset Relief Program, the Tarp program, come out with a report. I mentioned it at the end of the last week, but I think it is monumentally important because what he points out, and now what the rest of the press is catching on to, a good story in the New York Times today about it, is the fact that, we let $62 billion go in backdoor TARP money through AIG to some of the top investment banks in the world, including, of course, Goldman Sachs, Merrill Lynch, and some of the others. Now, how did that happen? So Goldman Sachs took some TARP money, and then they paid it back. And they even gave us 23% interest on the money. And they said, look, give you a lot of interest, right? And we paid back the money. So, hey, Goldman Sachs on the level. That sounds good, right? Now they're taking tremendous bonuses this year in the range of $17 to $23 billion just for their executives in bonuses just for this year. Well, he said, but hey, they must have earned it in this year, so it's okay, and they paid back the TARP money. But in reality, what happened was Goldman Sachs, along with the other companies, got paid through AIG, and that money they're not giving back. They had these bets with AIG. Hey, I bet if the market crashes, in essence, I'm simplifying a little bit here. If the market crashes and that the stuff that we sold turns out to be junk, which we knew it was junk, well, we're making a bet with you to cover our backside on that, and so you're going to owe us $13 billion in the case of Goldman Sachs. Now, after the market did crash, everybody knew AIG couldn't pay that, and so the value of that is nowhere near $13 billion. If they tried to collect on that in any way, shape, or form in other means, they wouldn't have gotten anywhere near $13 billion. And that's how the market works. You make a bad bet or a bet that isn't going to be able to be paid off with a counterparty like AIG that you should have known couldn't pay off your bets. Well, that's capitalism, baby, right? Except we didn't do capitalism. Tim Geithner, Hank Paulson, the Bush administration, and the Obama administration stepped in and said, oh, no, don't worry, we got it from here. And they funneled $13 billion to Goldman Sachs and $62 billion overall to all those investment banks through AIG. They paid off all those bets, and they paid them off at 100%, 100 cents on the dollar, which is unconscionable, unconscionable. That's our money. And what Neil Borofsky is now saying, the Inspector General, the watchdog that was assigned to this, he says, yeah, we're not getting it back. They just took it, okay? Now, get a load of this. Goldman Sachs says, oh, no, don't worry about it. We didn't need that money anyway. We could have gotten it from other sources because we had other bets that were counter to the AIG bets. Well, then why didn't you get it from other sources? Why did you take it from us? I mean, get a load of the balls on them to make a claim like that. Okay, and everybody writes that down as if that's a legitimate thing that we should be considering. Oh, well, they could have gotten it from other people. Well, then go ahead and get it from the other banks. Why did I pay for it? It's crazy. Tim Geithner just let them walk away with $62 billion. He's not the only one at fault, but he's definitely one of the principal players. When asked about it, they said, oh, no, we had to rescue the banks. But the question isn't whether you had to rescue the banks and the financial industry. The question is how. You didn't have to do it at 100% return on bets. Now, look, now you know I'm not the only one. The progressive economists are not the only one. The guy the government hired to be a watchdog, the Inspector General, is saying, yes, they took the $62 billion and they went home with it. And that's your money and it's not coming back. And they did it through the fraud of the counterparty payments to AIG. And this is how they lose their political capital. Now, when you go and say, oh, no, trust the Obama administration because they got the next thing right, you think the American people are going to trust them? They're going to say, yeah. Whatever this next stimulus bill is, or whatever the next spending is, it's going straight to the bankers. That's what they're going to think because that's what happened last time. Now, the stimulus money didn't go there, but the bailout money did, and you think they're going to be able to tell that difference?